Renee Bays,
Rakim,
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 Renee Bays.
Hola, hello. Okay, I was gonna go into some welcomes because that was the limit.
Bienvenido.
Oh, there's
Bienveni-
also Kamusta.
That's-
Kamusta.
No, but that's welcome. We're not saying there's hi and then there's welcome. Those are two different things.
Oh, well.
Well, okay.
No, because that was literally what my next one was gonna be, like bienvenido, bienvenue, and then I was like, ooh, no, that's welcome. That's a different word. Anyways,
Same
hi.
shit, different meaning.
We
in
back.
this bitch.
We're back
We're back.
from our hiatus.
Our hiatus.
Capital T.
Ooh, a hiatus.
Hiatus.
Am I going to? No, I'm gonna go on another one. I'm good.
Yes, Rini is out there studying her heart out, so she ain't with us again this weekend. Y'all know, we just gotta education is important.
We have lives.
We have lives. Lives. Not Renee's British accent. In me life.
In me life.
In me life. Oh my god, I miss his little random ass noises. Anyway,
Who are
question
you?
of color.
No, who are you?
Oh,
Who are we?
Are we things? Oh, okay. Well, I'm the Hee Haw Hunty because the hee haw has become a trend these days. So I'm now a hoe. I've decided to move on, elevate myself. Yeah. Who are y'all?
I'm a year older.
Hey!
Thank you. And Jonathan.
Jean
Oh,
Jean
hello.
Binks.
Hello, I am John Binks.
Did you get that?
Yes,
John,
I did.
John Binks.
I got it. Thank you.
I'll be here all night.
My name is John, and if anyone knows how to go through life and handle insurances and cars and stuff, let me know. Because that's what's happening to me. I'm figuring this out. I got into a car accident, but I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not spiraling. I'm not.
Oh, girl. Well, I can't relate.
Woo, same. Oh my god.
Chile.
Like in the end of Infinity War, like when Thanos is talking to that little baby Gamora, I just watched it, so it's like fresh in my head. She goes, "Did you do it?" And he goes, "Yes." And she goes, "What did it cost?" Everything. Like us.
Honestly, bitch, I want to be turned to dust. Like, turn me to dust, nigga.
I'm ready to be
no.
snapped.
Right? Snap.
I know it's supposed to be random, but what if a bitch wants to be dusted? Who do we
that's
call?
what I'm saying. Yes, so the question of the color.
1-800 dust this
Wait,
pussy.
time out. We are
What?
podcasts of color, and
Oh, girl,
we're-
it's been so long, we done forgot. Okay, yes. Welcome to Podcast of Color, where four trash bags of color come together to make sense
To
of this
dissociate.
motherfucking world. To make sense of our lives, first of all. That's why, because we need to get our shit together.
right. It starts within. It starts within.
Yes. Wait, what does Lauryn Hill say?
How you gonna win when you ain't
Ain't
right
right
with
with
it?
Yes, thank you.
You know what
Bitch,
though?
I gotta
No.
get my chakras aligned. Like, whew, Chile.
It's not us. It's the world that needs to change. We doing what we're supposed to be doing. It's the world that's wrong.
And thank you for everyone for waiting these 2 weeks and being so patient with us.
Were they? I was getting harassed.
No, with me they were. They know not to do that with me. I'll block you.
I'm like, when y'all niggas back? When are you niggas coming back?
When is mental health gonna be readily available in the
Right?
country?
If you bitches don't get some fucking therapy.
How about you find a therapist?
Like, if you bitches don't get some therapy so I can get my weekly episode.
Can y'all bitches do talkspace.com/the read and shut the fuck up?
The read.
God, you mentally ill ass bitches.
Spiraling assholes.
Did you say you unstable assholes?
I said spiraling assholes, but that works as well.
Also that. All of the above. The duality of depressed.
Wait, write that down because
The duality of depressed.
That is the.
look, look, we're black and Filipino. And we're poor and we're mentally unstable, but we're here, bitch.
But we're here.
Did the 2 weeks really help our mental health situations at all?
No.
Not really.
But we're here.
You know.
But we was like, you know what? We was like, we might as well come back and be mentally unhealthy on the show. Why not?
Yeah, we can't take a 2-year-long mental. We can't take until
all
Donald
that.
Trump is not president break and the show will come back break. So, you know,
Facts.
But anyways,
are.
thank you
Yes.
for waiting for us. Here we are. Baze, what is the color? Question of color.
The color of question.
What is the color of question? What's the cock?
If you could, what's the cock? If you could, first of all, Megan Thee Stallion says cock, and therefore we shall all say cock. Thank you.
who said
If
that?
you could, huh?
You mean Meghan McCain?
Megan Thee Stallion. I don't
Which,
know who-
by the way,
what?
Meghan McCain almost got her ass snatched
No.
the fuck up.
I
on
forgot
the
to
beat.
add it to the thing, but we could talk about it in a minute.
Okay, please.
If you could know the absolute truth, the absolute and total truth to one question, what question would you ask?
Okay, this is gonna be really meta. Like I'm about to ascend, but
Okay.
I almost feel blasphemous for asking, is God real?
Oh, damn it.
Was that yours, John?
Well, mine was going to be like sort of relate. Like, is there an afterlife?
Oh, work. Because look, if the answer is no,
Then, like, what are we doing?
bitch,
Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is this? What are we?
You bitches about to get purged, bitch.
Like, you set life down. What are we? I want a
What am
label.
I'm from every continent in Africa.
I am the continent.
I'm from every afterlife in the afterlife.
Ooh, wow.
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 Wait, Baze, what's your
Wow.
question?
My answer?
Or what's your answer? Wow.
Okay.
I guess I want to know, like, well, I guess that's subjective. Because I want to know, like, at the end of it, is it worth it? I would like to talk to somebody who died, who's, like, lived a long life, and I don't know.
Is it worth it?
But
Yeah.
wait, that's hello darkness.
Maybe that was dark. Was that too dark? I'm
You
sorry.
could just get a magic 8-ball and find that out.
But is it going to tell me the absolute truth? But it's the subjective.
I mean, that's a
obviously,
yes. That's a
because
yes or no
everyone-
question.
Yeah.
Wow, look at us existential bitches. Like,
This is Trash
Our
Bags,
questions-
podcast of color where 4 trash bags come together to ponder the meaning of life, dissociate, and wish we were never born.
Okay, well, what about? I would like to talk to my future self then. And
Oh, no,
ask
I'm
them
not disagreeing with what you're
if I
saying.
accomplished anything worth, like if I did anything.
That's one of those things where, okay, that's kind of like the butterfly effect. Like, what if you talking to yourself changes the future that you had for yourself? Dun, dun, dun.
Well, bitch, then I don't know.
okay, let's ask some lighthearted questions. What is your lighthearted question?
Okay.
I would ask the release date of every single Beyonce album and when they're going to happen and when the last one will happen so I can mentally prepare myself.
Ooh.
Not what's going to be on them, just the dates that they're coming out.
My question was a Beyonce question, too. I was going to ask, what really happened in that elevator?
Oh, we know.
Purchase Lemonade to find out.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
We're back, bitches.
We're back. We are back.
I'm trying to think. Wait, what would I really want to know the answer to? I want to know who released those pictures of Blue Ivy and the twins. That's the question. Okay, let's move on. We got a lot of topics to cover in the Minutes of Color, so we are going to be right back with.
Did
all
you
of
say you
that.
have a lot of tops to cover?
Huh?
Did you say you have a lot of tops to cover?
I mean, also that.
I mean, we got to do that, too.
Yeah.
In the break.
As
Okay.
the power bottoms of the show. Yes.
Yes. We
Oh,
do.
okay.
One
So
top,
we're
one
gonna
top
go.
at a time.
Okay,
two.
so we're gonna go top some people or get topped, I guess.
Yeah.
And then come right back.
All right.
All right.
Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum.
What up? And we back with the Minutes of the Color. So I put this nigga's name on here. I forgot what he did actually because I didn't put a link here. So we're gonna skip right. No, Terry Crews. Did you see what he said on Twitter? Because he's been doubling down on his fuckery and his binariness.
Why does he keep doing like?
Wait, who?
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews came out as what now?
An asshole.
Yeah, as an asshole.
Oh, okay.
He's just been doubling down. He's been like making fun of woke Twitter, who had his back, mind you, when all these niggas that didn't were shading him and not even shading him, like full on dragging him and calling him basically a bitch for not standing up for himself when he got assaulted by that white man.
Oh my god.
He's like called out, like made fun of woke Twitter. He's like not holding him. He's not being He's not allowing himself to be held accountable for the things that he said and the way that they could have been interpreted by many people. Regarding like what was it? What did he say? Like, what did he say? I forgot. We talked about it on the show. What did he say? Something about like, one parent has this and the other parent has that. There's these two things that only one kind of parent can give you. A male and a female parent can give you.
Yep.
And a lot of people are like, hey, what about gay parents? And
he said, and what about them?
And what about them? And he's continuing that with that line of thinking. And it's just been kind of disappointing because, like, I cannot find the tweet that he tweeted related to this.
The tweet that he tweeted
right now. But it was
the tweet that he tweeted. Yes.
I'm trying to look it up right now, but it was something about like how he doesn't believe in like. It has something to do with gender roles where like he doesn't. Oh, it was like I don't do gender roles. I do like or parental roles. I do like parental assignments or something. Like it was something really stupid. Did you find it?
Well, here's some other shit that he said.
Bring it to light. Oh, here it goes. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, the one I'm reading is from March 31st, and someone said, Terry, I like you a lot, but damn, a mom can fill the role of a father figure, a father can fill the role of a mother. It's okay. And he says, I don't believe that. There are no such thing as gender roles. There are gender purposes.
Gender purposes.
So he said, so you're saying my gender can change, but my race never can? What if they developed a pill, and they will, where I could change my genes and have Asian features, or have surgeries to change my skin type and hair color? Would I still be black? If I moved to Japan, renounce my American citizenship, learn the culture, and live there for the rest of my life, no matter my history, would I be Japanese?
Is he dumb?
Yes. I'm so tired of like cis people doing that. Like, so if transness can exist, what about transracialness? What? What?
Wet?
Wet? Bitch wet?
Bitch
Be wet?
Bitch wet?
Bitch
like,
wet?
let me clean out my ear. Like, let me move my bang real quick.
Like, let me
Like,
undissociate so I could breathe that again.
You
Bitch,
know?
what?
Like, what are you saying?
Why do people do like you know what's an option? Being silent. You know?
But my thing is like also like first of all, we know. So like okay.
Ooh.
Like let's just pretend we're just talking purely scientific shit, right? Like we're just talking about doctors and like the medical field. Anybody who took I took a health class in college. We studied gender identity versus sex, gender versus sex. It's an accepted fact by the medical profession that your gender and your sex are not the same thing. That gender is fluid. Race is not fluid. It's not fluid. You either are or you not.
Because race is literally a man-made construct. Like
Exactly.
The thing is like if white people
fixed.
didn't like it was invented by white people. So if like which is so
Exactly.
funny to me when white people say like, oh like can y'all not talk about race? Well, you invented it. So like it's literally was made when the slave trade happened as a way to like differentiate white people from black people. Like
Exactly.
so
Because during the 1600s, if we want to do like a quick little history lesson, during the 16 motherfucking hundreds, okay, black people had the ability to become free. Not all of them. but a lot of them were also indentured servants, and a lot of white people were indentured servants. And so there was a commonality between these two people. This is what a lot of white Irish people like to bring up. But there was a gathering of people, and people were coming together. Poor people were coming together, and the rich white people were like, "Wait a minute, we can't have this. We cannot have this." So they started enacting anti-miscegenation laws to keep the races separate, so that they wouldn't have to deal with people gathering together, coming together. And it's a tool that they still use to this day. For example, identity politics, as much as like people like call out the liberals, the Democrats for identity politics. Republicans love that shit, the way that they come for Mexicans, the way that they come for Muslims, the way that they come for gays. Like, it's all like a tool to separate people so that they're not invested in working together to combat their oppressors, who are rich white people. So, sorry. But yes. So, that is what that is. That's race is that. Gender is that. They're two different things. And I feel like I feel like low-key people know that. I feel like they just do this because they want to invalidate trans people.
That's tea, actually. Like, that...
Did you have any... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, did you have any thoughts, John?
No, I think you pretty much said it. I'm getting actually, like, very tired of folks who are trying to invalidate these experiences. And, like, if you're not going to have anything actual... I don't know. I forgot who posted the tweet, but like, I don't have, like, someone posted that I don't, like, if you're just trying to discredit an experience, and there's no point in having this conversation. And that's how I feel. And like, I don't want to hear from someone. If you just want me to hear your point because you're trying to dehumanize me, then I don't want to talk to you. That's how I feel.
Period. So yeah, fuck Terry Crews. It just was kind of like disappointing because, you know, for a minute there, like, right, we were like all championing this man. Like, we were like, fuck, like, here's this man who's saying like all the right words, but just as I always knew, even though I had this momentary lapse of judgment, standing straight men is always a trap. Always. It just always is. Like, they always do some shit. So I learned my lesson.
Same. I don't think I even like any straight man that I know. Like, I'm like.
I mean, I have some in real life that I like, and they cool, but we not, you know, I'm not gonna ever look to them to be the voice of any goddamn thing ever.
No, I am literally heterophobic.
Yes.
If I
I love that you had to think about that.
Well, well, like, if there's cisgender males and they're heterosexual, like, I get a little bit of anxiety. I'm like, is this safe? Can look around for the nearest exit just in case? You know, like, what do I do? I need a contingency
that's real.
plan. Contingency plan with a capital T.
Contingency.
Okay, these capital T stuff.
What about a capital C?
What is
Switch
that?
it up.
Capital C for
Cunt.
Kagendahan.
Yeah. Moving on along, we got a lot of
porn.
We got a lot of porn / Insta things to get through. So let's delve in.
So raise your hand if you watch porn,
shall we? Do you?
Who here watches porn?
Raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by Seth Santoro.
Or Jason Jerez.
Yes. So, do you want to take this one away, Rakeem? Because I saw on Twitter that you had a lot of thoughts about Mr. Santoro.
Let me just pour a drink.
So, this man, Seth Santoro, is a porn performer.
Porn performer. Clarify that, because he's not a porn, not a porn star.
He's not a star. No. We don't.
No.
He tweeted, "I love when someone I filmed with in the past has gotten fat, then gets upset when I tell him that I will film with him again when he loses weight. I'm not a fan of looking at your fat body rolling around all over Twitter, but I did unfollow you. But I did unfollow you. No?
No. But,
okay, I don't know what he thought that was going to, what that sentence was. But anyway, we all have typos on Twitter. I'm the biggest typo having ass bitch on Twitter to this day. But yeah, so that was a fun tweet to read. Rakim?
Yeah. So, you know how people say, don't look a gift horse in the mouth? This bitch is the gift horse. So let's go. So,
Wait, say what? People say what?
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. This bitch looks like the gift horse because
Oh.
this horse hooved face, yeehaw ass, face ass bitch. Like, first off, I'm very tired of people giving platforms to people because they are muscular. I'm very tired of people that feel that because they a lot of people want to have sex with them, that somehow that means that their opinion is somehow smart. I'm tired of people equating that means that their opinion is somehow like, I don't know, supposed to be taking over the people who actually like know what they're talking about, and things aren't racist, aren't fatphobic, aren't like misogynistic, aren't Islamophobic, aren't, you know, fatphobic, like all, not transphobic, all the phobics. Like the thing with this is just that, like, at this point, I'm done. Like, I'm done being nice. Like, I'm done being nice. I've come on this show for how many weeks now? We've all tried to be very, very nice about things. We try to treat people with respect. I don't really want to do that anymore. Because I really don't. Because in 2019, my motto is don't be nice to dumb muscle gays. So this is example one. Bitch. First of all, like I like looked at some of his videos just to kind of see like if he, like, I don't know, is even skilled at what he does. And so first of all, like his stroke game is literally, I don't know, it looks like a wood plank slapping a wall or something. Like it's not like there's no life into it. There's no any.
Is that
rhythm.
exciting?
There's no rhythm
Is that
to
exciting?
it. It's boring. You're not skilled at what you do. Like, you're only there because you probably like inject yourself with steroids and then lie to people on Instagram that you sit there and go to the gym all the time. Like, if you're going to do all that, at least do something to fix your ugly ass face. But no, I mean, if we're going to be honest about it, like, if you're like, if
There's no workout for your face.
like, there is, I mean, truly. And, you know, it looks like you got punched in the face and it swelled up and then never healed back. And you know what? That's fine. And if you want to go off and be bitter about that, like, I understand. I would be mad if I looked like you too. That's fine. But what you're not going to do is sit here and act like because someone has better, that's what I meant to say, higher fat percentage on their body or have more fat on them, that you're somehow better than them in any kind of way. You probably can't even spell fat. Like, you have typos like in your fucking tweets that don't make any kind of sense. Like, no one is actually like checking for you. Like, I don't know if this was some kind of attempt to like be relevant in the porn scene again, but literally I've read that you haven't really filmed a scene in a while because probably no one really wants to fuck with your ugly ass. But you know, that's one thing. Then you have an ugly ass attitude. Everything about you is ugly. I honestly just want to fight at this point. And I'm really tired of people acting like fat is a bad thing, like fat is bad, like fat is somehow going to, like, that if someone's fat that they somehow have leprosy or something, like in the Bible or whatever. And that's not it. Like, fat people are people with leprosy are people, and you don't need to treat anyone like that because of how they look. And second of all, you have no talent. You don't have any talent. You take up space. You're a waste of breath. Like, you weren't worth to brick that stone wall. You're the exact type of gays that I think, like, no, you're not. I think you're the exact type of gays that ruin things for, and in the community itself. I think you're a waste of space. I wish you were straight. Actually, I wish you just honestly, like, didn't, I don't know. I just, like, you cannot exist, and I think that'll be fine. Like, the world might be a better thing. Because people like you are just, I hate them, and I don't have any, I don't care about being nice about it anymore. I was gonna do a more coherent drag, but I'm just angrier the more I'm speaking because it's hot. So
that's real. It's even hot here, bitch.
It's hot.
I feel you.
And it's just like, who has, like, it's hot and like people are in debt and have student loans, and you're over here talking about this shit, bitch. Go somewhere with this. And the last thing I'll just say before I hand it off to y'all is, to all the little pick me bitches that think that because you go and be like, oh, they're just being mean to you, he's not going to fuck you, sis. Like, really? Are you that like self-hating? Do you hate yourself that much? Like, do you think you're that worthless? Like,
oh no,
learn something from this. Do better. You're just as bad. No, they are. They're just as bad because y'all go in here and you enable people to do this. Like, you're the same people that he's talking about. Like, oh, well, I'm fat and he was nice to me. So you're just going to sit here and let them talk about other fat people like that? No, you're scum. Choke. Like, sorry.
And I think if you go further down the article, it says that he was also like, he was accused of physical abuse by his husband. And
Yeah, Seth Santoro.
yeah, and he initially denied it, but now he like admitted to it. And like, oh, this is not a good person. Like, fat shaming and physically abusive.
And ugly.
And can I just say, like, I'm really tired of... if you look up this article, there's a picture of Billy Santoro wearing a stethoscope around his neck, but he's, like, completely naked. And, like, medical parody porns are just really dumb. Like, this is not sexy. That's not... I mean, maybe I'm just biased because I am in the medical field.
You work in the medical field, yeah.
But I'm like, this is really inaccurate. Like...
The way he's wearing that stethoscope is just really inaccurate.
Ask him to spell stethoscope and see what happens. Like, I
Oh,
just...
bitch,
not-
I can't even do that.
Wait,
false representation. Oh.
What'd you say?
Did you
I
say
spelled
E
it.
at the end? Oh, okay.
STETHOSCOPE. Yes, I put an E at the end because scope ends with the E.
Ooh.
Well, and that's that on that.
And so, after Billy Santoro, who do we have next? Who is...
Oh, up for the next on the block.
Embrace your curves. Babes, you can take this one.
Yes, Miss Embrace Your Curves. Jason, Embrace Your Curves, Jerez.
I can't.
Has a very important message for the people, for the girls, for the gag of it all. He says, it's actually really disrespectful for you to come on my page and say how I'm not relatable, that my body is too perfect. He said this after he posted a picture of him with like his ass out, and it was captioned, "Embrace your curves." A lot of people, understandably, had a lot to say about that because I think at this point, I'm so tired of this discussion. I am like so unbelievably tired of this discussion, but I'm also like, it has to keep happening because niggas keep trying it. Like, muscle gays keep fucking trying it. How hard is it to just post a caption that has nothing to do with you being fat or thick or curvy? Like, come on now.
Move along.
And he was like, his defense was that he has curves because he has a big butt. Like, you have a curve, sis.
And
not plural.
Even if you did have, like, even if that's true, like, be self-aware enough to know, like, this is why it's so annoying when people are like, oh, but I'm body positive. But are you actually? Because if you take the time to look at the definition of what that is and why it came about, they're doing the body equivalent of white people being like, well, why do you guys get to have a BET? Maybe because you guys put white people everywhere else on TV, so we have to make something for ourselves. So when people say, oh, embrace my curves or thick, that is a very specific thing because people like Jason, Embrace Your Curves, Jerez, or just however his name is, like, people like this try to co-opt things and make everything about themselves. People want to screw you, girl. Almost everyone does. Is that not enough for you? Like, leave people alone. Like, how much attention is enough for y'all? Like, it's almost just like the depth to your insecurity is like as bottomless as Armin Rizzo, and like it's like you don't need to.
Leave Armand alone.
When I go to
Leave Armand Rizzo
when I go to
alone.
bottomless mimosas now, I just say, "Can I get Armand Rizzo mimosas? How much is that?" Instead of bottomless. But anyway, the point is just that I'm sick of like people trying to make it seem like they are like persecuted because so many people want to screw them. You know what's really easy? To be in shape and go to the gym and not try to shit on other people. Like, it's really easy to not do that. Like,
I just was like, I thought like, I mean, I was reading some of the comments and people were like, is this like satire?
Yeah.
I thought it had to be. I was like, there's no way in hell that this guy got on his on the big internet and logged into Instagram, opened the app, posted the camera up, the phone up, looked into it, got the lighting together because the lighting was on fleek. Okay, got the lighting together, and said this. Like, and said, my body is too perfect and I'm not relatable as some sort of, like, drag. Woo. Like, could you imagine that hurting your body is too perfect?
And so
and just, like, that ruining your day.
Our listeners, I'm pretty sure, I mean, we have some listeners who don't know who this is. This is Instagram person Jason with 2 S's, Jerez. If you
don't
want
give
to,
him the time of day like that. Don't help him out.
No, I'm just trying to see if people want to like, because we give the other person an intro. We just want to know.
No, you're right.
If someone wants to make their decision, go ahead and look at this profile, and then I just want to say that, Baze and I had the pleasure of also meeting this person indirectly. We were at a function with a friend of mine, and I think we told this story on a previous episode where, like, I had my clothes on the entire time because I don't look this certain way, and I was with some friends, and with Baze, and this Instagram person who we're talking about. Like, okay, so let me back up. Everyone in this party is like super fit. Basically, it's one of those after hours, late night parties. I'm outing myself. Yes, we were there. But anyway,
look, sometimes we need a little circuit night.
Yeah, like
it happens.
Sometimes, yeah, exactly. But out comes this person, and in my head, I'm thinking, wow, everyone there is like basically this Adonis-y type of person. And then I was thinking in my head, let me just keep my shirt on because whatever. And then out comes Jason. He's like, everyone in there is trash and ugly. And I'm like, okay. Wow.
Yeah, and I thought he was super cute, and I was like super into him until he said that, and I was like, ooh.
Ooh, and it's like it's not a surprise that, I don't know, this whole thing is
it was sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm just saying,
say shit.
I'm not surprised that this is coming from that guy who just like, oh, I'm so perfect, but also like everyone else is real shitty, like you're all fat and ugly, and I'm just like, I can't feel sorry for you at all. And it
but
just
you're not perfect.
Oh.
Sorry,
someone had like, someone had commented, this is just like when Gretchen Wieners in Mean Girls was like, I'm sorry that people are so jealous of me. And like, yeah, that's exactly what this is. It's like, facts. Girl, we're gonna let you fall when you do this challenge. Like, no one's gonna catch you.
But that's the thing. He's not perfect though. Like, because you're clearly an idiot, you're clearly fat phobic, like you're clearly dumb, so you're not perfect because
clearly deeply insecure.
Like, so let's talk about that. That's what we have to change the definition of what that means. Like, that's why I don't like the term perfect body. Like, I don't like, because it always brings up people like him, and people don't understand. Like, he even said like, oh, like people like me that do steroids, we still work hard. Like, what? Like,
yeah, he was saying doing steroids doesn't matter, and I'm like, yeah,
they absolutely do, because these people sit up here and act like they are better than you because they get the ability that people either want to pay for them, or they're able to work in places where they're able to be at the gym 6 days a week, 7 days a week. They don't have, and it's like, that's a privilege in and of itself. Like, the fact that they can sit there and spend so much time, then they inject steroids into themselves, and then they try to act like it's because of their own hard work and what they do on top of that. And like, oh, it's so hard work for me to give up food. Bitch, I got to give up food too because I have high blood pressure. So what now? We still got to do the same thing.
I just also want to like point out, like, from that night, hanging out in their vicinity or whatever, and being in that big ass group, how incredibly boring they were. Like, I just like the conversations that were being had, and granted, it was like outside of a club, whatever, but like, just like the conversations that they have, like, and also having been in those scenes with similar type people on multiple occasions, like, just like the lack of depth to these people, so much shallowness. It's funny, somebody posted on Twitter a bit of this group picture of like these gays, these white adjacents, I'll say white aspiring gays. Let me not even put that on them. I don't know them, but it was a picture of like a large group of gays, Asians, Latinos, and whites.
No blacks.
All on the lighter skin. Well, apparently there was one who was like supposedly mixed or whatever. He made like a joke, like he was like, I'm mixed, and somebody's like, I can't tell. He was like, you would if you saw my dick, and I was like, you're one of those.
Okay, so you hate yourself. We got it.
Yeah, he's like he definitely tags his Instagram pictures BBC.
Yikes.
Yeah. So anyway, this picture, and so somebody was like, oh, I want to be friends with these people, and like it like caused this whole conversation. And what ended up being funny to me was I stayed out of it because I was like, I don't know these people. I don't know what they're like. But in their defense of this, a lot of them came off as really like stupid. And you could tell like how like there was, and even in the picture, there was one of them had on like a Native American headdress on. So it's just like you already like got that one point against you. And then they were kind of showing their asses on Twitter, and it just like reminded me of like what these groups look like. And what these kind of people look like and the conversations that they have. And I really like I saw this video that Jason posted, and I was like, I really don't think you have friends. You like I just don't think that I was like looking at I was like, you really don't have any friends. You don't have anybody who's like looking out for you, because if you did, this video would not have made it to the internet.
Yes.
Like there is no way in hell you have anyone who's like checking you and keeping you together. Like I'm lucky enough that like I mean, and I mentioned it before, I have made the occasional dumb muscle gay post, and I have learned because I've been rightfully dragged by y'all for those posts. But it's just like I have y'all, like I have real people in my life that are gonna be like, hey, like sis, like this ain't it, like don't do this. I wouldn't. There's no way in hell you would ever see me making a video like this. Granted, I don't have the following and I don't have like the clout or whatever, so it's a different situation. But like what's been like very apparent to me in this whole thing was just like the lack of sense and like just the clear obviousness that he does not have any real friends in his life that are going to tell him like, sis, this is not it. He just probably has a bunch of people that are probably like, oh girl, like whatever, they're just haters, blah blah blah, you're perfect. And I also just want to point out that he also has like, I've seen his OnlyFans, and whew, Chile, it's all the body, it's all just for show, because the stroke is not there. As Rakeem said about Seth Santoro. And that's another common thing that I'm seeing is just like a lot of people are working so hard to look a certain way. It's like, girl, where's the stroke? Okay.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like,
what about the stroke?
Like porn and sex work to a lot of people is a craft. It's an art form. And so people like this don't take their shit seriously and know that they are going to profit off of it because people have this fantasy that they can be with them or whatever. And it's just like, and I've said this before, like when he said, oh, I'm not my body's so perfect and I'm not relatable. Like, relatable, like why do you need to be relatable? Relatable to who? For what? For what reason?
But that's the whole point. The whole point of his image, that's the gag, is the whole point of his image is exclusivity. You have this exclusive body and this exclusive face, and you hang out with these exclusive groups of people. So like the idea that you need to be like let your like not being relatable is an insult when that's literally your goal. Like that's the whole point of your Instagram page.
Yeah,
but it's like
exclusivity.
But like for what? Like okay, let's be honest. Like where's the talent? For what? Like what's the skill that you're offering? What are you giving? Like I said before, not everyone needs to be an Instagram or a social media celebrity or a social media star. Like for what? Like there's like in my opinion, people that deserve to have those platforms are people that work hard, people that try to cultivate their talent, and people that are working smart. These people are doing none of the above, adding nothing to the conversation. What has either of them done for anything of the larger gay community other than themselves? For what? What are they advocates of? What have they spoke about? What are they doing other than being accused? What are they adding to the table other than domestic assault? Like, what are they bringing? Nothing.
Yikes.
Like, you're not smart. You're apparently abusive. You care nothing about people in your community because you bring them down. You sit there and have any kind of self-awareness to anything else. Like, you lack any kind of skill even in the porn that you do produce. So what are you here for? What are you here to do? And yet everyone thinks that they're the thing that should be aspired to. And I don't care if I sound bitter or whatever, because I'm upset about that. Because there are so many people that don't ever get the opportunity to do anything, or when they do, they get shut down immediately because of how they look, because they're not muscular, because they don't live in the gym, because their skin color is too light, because it's too dark, or sorry, not too light, because it's not.
I'm about to be like, girl,
sorry,
what?
Because their skin color is too dark, because they're not light enough, like because they talk a certain way, because they dress a certain way, because they hang out with certain people. people. That's bullshit. So people like these two people piss me off because they're epitome of every single thing that's wrong. They do the least and yet they get the most. For what? For what?
Well,
somebody tell me anything that they do quickly.
what? Okay. Just like it does take a lot of work to achieve whatever this
definitely.
is. But I think it's funny how like they're very meticulous about appearance, right? So like your eyebrows, your body, your everything has to look a certain way, and like their Instagram has to look a certain way. But like how do you not understand that this is not a good look? Like the fact that you're so focused on looks and you don't understand that this is not a good look is just like blows my mind.
Well, because all of that goes by the wayside, because at the end of the day, I mean, this has come up because again, Twitter. There's been conversations around a lot of racist gays, white and non-white, but definitely not black, using the N-word. And a lot of them have been dragged for using the N-word, and a lot of them did their little half-ass apologies. And a lot of them still have 20, 30K followers on Twitter. And are still, I'm still seeing them on my timeline every day. And people don't care because at the end of the day, they know that as long as they lead with their ass or their dick or their pecs or their abs, that the rest of it falls by the wayside. As soon, like, I swear to God, like, as soon as one of them posts like like lip sync video, like of them singing, I don't know, like "Break Up with Your Girlfriend" by Ariana Grande in the bathtub or something, with like rubbing suds over their stomachs or some shit, like it's over. Like everyone's gonna be talking about that. Nobody cares about what they actually said because people care what they look like. And it's like this, like it's like Men in Black, right? Like that thing. It's like flash of abs, and it just erases everything that just happened. So anyway, enough about these niggas. Now on to some more porn shit.
I was gonna say, do we have one more porn person to discuss?
We do. So Jason Zhu, who's very attractive, very fine, worked for Noir Mel, which is directed by Chi LaRue. Mm-hmm. So according to the site, Noir Mel breaks free from stereotypes. And showcases black men as sensual, sexual, and unapologetically fine.
That's what they do?
That's what they claim to do. But Jason got up on Twitter and said, "I stopped working for Noir Mel when I woke up. When I saw that everything was a lie, and I would like to apologize for having the wolves in suits to sell this lie. Wake up, y'all, and see it's not about us. I want to be clear. I'm not angry. I just sat back and watched as the aspiration didn't meet the reality. We are being used to sell a product that doesn't cater to our community." He said that he became disillusioned basically because he thought that it was going to be something else than what it ended up being. But he's decided that he's not going to work with them anymore. And he did not notify Chi before he made these tweets. Chi LaRue told Out, "I loved working with Jason Zhu. He's one of the best performers I've ever worked with," but did not comment any further. So I have like a couple of thoughts about this because, did y'all see that Don Lemon got engaged to a white man? Sorry, somebody posted. Sorry, that was like one of the next articles, and it's just funny because they both have a dog, and one dog is black and one dog is white, and somebody was like, "Not the dogs being interracial too." But you know what? I actually want to. Remind me to circle back to that really quickly because I actually have a quick little opinion to throw out there.
Put a pin in that.
Yeah, Jason Zhu. I struggled with this because on one hand, I'm always glad to see people like wake up and like acknowledge what things are, and however long it took them to get to that point, I'm always glad that they got to that point. Like that's, it's important that they get to that point. That being said, I found it a little hard to believe that he didn't see what this was because from jump, like when they first introduced themselves by like launching online or like their Instagram or whatever, I think Chi LaRue posted on their Instagram, it was literally Noir Mel, and then like they posted each individual model, and like the first 50 guys that they posted were all white or
whoa.
Not off-white.
I'm saying off-white because I
More
didn't.
like
I could tell
eggshell or
they had
dove.
something else going on there, but I didn't want to say what that was. I don't know, but they weren't black, is what I'm saying. So it's just a whole gag that you saw this, and then when they first started doing scenes, like all the first scenes that came out were black tops with white bottoms. And so it's just like from jump, I think we even talked about that on the show. It was just like, what's different about this website than any other porn website that's about fetishizing black, big BBC, black bulls, you know what I mean? Black tops. Like what are you doing different from anyone else? And I remember asking that question on the show. And so it's just interesting to me that like somebody looking from outside, like somebody who just logged on the internet and saw this, happened to come by this one day, could come to this conclusion, and yet you worked with them and you didn't see any of this entire time. I'm not gonna drag him for, I'm not gonna drag him because I'm glad that he got to this point, but it just is kind of like odd to me that he didn't see this before. But I'm also hoping that in the future, like all these other porn girls, like what's that nigga's name, Max Connor, and these other girls that are like, oh whatever, post-racial, blah blah blah, can like acknowledge that this is what it is, because they've been out here like promoting this as like some new like site that's like for black people and different and showing it. And it's like only recently, from what I understand, that they even started doing scenes with like 2 black guys in one scene without a white guy in it. So it's just like, you're not doing anything different. You're literally just bringing us the same shit. And so it's hard for me to believe that somebody didn't see all of that from jump.
I agree. It's just I'm tired. Whatever. Like if people want to pat people on the back for saying racism is wrong, then like go off. But I'm not doing it in 2019. Sorry. Like it's exhausting. Like no, because it's like if these people were quote unquote ugly, no one would be giving them this grace like this. Like so no, they can choke. Like if people weren't attracted to them on like a universal scale or like a really wide scale, then everyone would be like, oh, shut up, or this wouldn't even be a thing. And so it's just like I'm tired of attractive people getting to do. Or rather muscular people. Well, I guess attractive people too. I don't know. I'm just tired of people getting to get away with things like this because of their looks. Like it's when like a lot of people don't get that same luxury. Like there are so many beautiful, like amazing, talented, sexy, incredible black women and men and dark-skinned people and fat people and disabled people and trans people that are gorgeous that don't get the same things that these people do, and then on top of that, a lot of this is like steeped in the fact that like these are conventionally attractive people. Like if you want to get into people that aren't, that's a whole other conversation too, because like we're like it's almost kind of like you're told that if you aren't someone who's like thirsted after by everyone, then you don't matter. And like, is that really what we're trying to tell people? Like, is that really what we're doing? Like, seriously? Like, attractiveness is important, but we're making those kind of people the people that we're giving the platform to solely off of that, and only those people. Like, we're not like, I don't know. It's just annoying. I'm over it.
I also want to point out real quick that Noir Mill has 67 models. 37 are black or mixed, and 30 are white. Houseway. This is supposed to be about black people, and half the niggas are white? That don't make sense to me.
Yikes.
Ooh.
Anyway. Also, it's just like, and then it's just like, and no other race? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is literally just like the same old shit. Like, it's literally the same old shit that every other website does. Like, you're not doing anything, Chi Chi LaRue. Miss Squirrel? Miss Squirrel. Yes. So, Kodak Black. Lord Jesus, fix it, Jesus. This demon. Kodak Black, he does look like such a demon. Oh my god.
No, he's ugly.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at his face. I'm sorry. Anyway, Kodak Black was on Instagram Live, and he didn't allude. This nigga basically said he was like trying to get next to Lauren London, which did not sit right with a lot of people on the internet, because it was like, her man just died. We didn't even talk about that, did we? Nipsey Hussle.
Oh no.
No, we didn't.
We did not. All I really have to say about the Nipsey Hussle thing is that I tweeted this. I don't
Wait, back
I'm
up.
not
Who is
celebrate
Nipsey Hussle for people who don't know? Because that used to be me.
Hussle?
Hu-
He's a
Hussle?
rapper.
Okay.
He's a rapper. He was shot in the head a week ago. I don't remember
Damn.
exactly when, but he was it a week ago, Rakeem?
Yeah, it was around a week ago, but I actually don't know that much about him, so I haven't really been saying much because I definitely thought he was like someone else, and then realized, so.
All I know is that I know that he has said some very homophobic things. I personally will not celebrate the death of a black man. Like, I'm just not going to do it. Depends on how egregious it was, and I don't think that it was egregious enough that I'm going to celebrate his death. But I also not going to, like, mourn. I'm not going to, like, performatively mourn a black man that was not showing up for queer people. And not more than not showing up, it was speaking out against us. I think that we need to get to a point where, like, everyone should do what they want. You know, some people want to mourn it, and that's fine. But I think we also, like, need to allow space for queer people to express their feelings about it. And if we don't want to mourn cis hetero black people who like shit on us and contribute to our marginalization and our murders and our abuse, then we're not going to do that. And I think that I think there needs to be a reckoning in the black community. I think we need to get to a point where we start saying, like, you know what, y'all not showing up for us, we're not gonna show up for you no more. Because there's this expectation that we're all gonna show up for cis hetero black men regardless, and we're supposed to do that. And I'm not doing it anymore, personally. Especially not if you like it's one thing if you're not showing up for me, but if you actively working against me, man, fuck that. We're not doing that. So anyway, Lauren London is Nipsey Hussle's ex-wife, or not ex-wife, but she was his wife. And
Widow.
Yeah, I guess that is, yeah. Or girlfriend, sorry. She was his girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
And yeah. So she was his girlfriend. They'd been together for a while. He said that I'll give her a whole year. She might need a whole year to be crying and shit for him. This got a lot of people hot in the black community. A lot of black men were very pressed about this. Justin Credible, who's a DJ with Los Angeles radio station Power 106, said, "We stand with the family of Nipsey Hussle and are appalled by the disrespectful and poor comments made by Kodak Black. With that, Power 106 will not support Kodak Black's music. Hashtag long live Nip." I'm not finna watch these videos. I haven't watched them, and I'm not going to now. T.I. and The Game both posted videos talking shit to him about it. Yeah, I thought it was a little interesting. Big Boy has something to say about it as well. I thought it was very interesting, personally. I mean, I think a lot of people did, that they had so much to say. All these black men had so much to say, and like this guy from Power 106 had so much to say about boycotting his music, when this man is a whole entire rapist, and we've known about that for years, and that's nothing. Y'all don't have shit to say about that. But he says, and it's not even about, which a lot of black women have pointed out, it's not even out of respect for Lauren London, it's out of respect for the man that they feel she belonged to. And so it's just funny that these men are like coming out like, oh, like, fuck this nigga, blah blah blah, he's canceled, da da. You have all this shit to say, but when he was sexually harassing young MA, like literally, what is it, 3-4 weeks ago?
Not that long ago, yeah.
And y'all didn't have shit to say about him then? He's like what he said about Lauren London was far more mild than what he said about young MA. Didn't have shit to say. Y'all, where was this boycotting his music then? But he disrespects a man. You feel like he's disrespected a man that you admired, and so now that's too much. And this is what I'm talking about with cis hetero black men. And this is why I'm saying, like, I'm not here for that shit, because you niggas don't stand for shit unless you feel disrespected personally.
Damn.
It's tiresome.
We each came back with a rant.
Yeah, it's just so tiresome.
No, I agree. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have much to add to that because, like, again, I don't know much about him. I was introduced to him because of homophobic comics, so
Yeah.
like, you know, he did do things that were beneficial for parts of the black community. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, so on one hand, like, I think that it's fair that those people can mourn and, you know, feel the way that they do. Like, I don't have to feel that way, but other people can, and that, you know, and that's fine. Like, it's just I don't. A lot of this stuff is complicated. I just feel like in situations like this, like you said, queer people are allowed to feel how they're supposed to feel, and a lot of this is respectability. In that, like, oh well, you shouldn't say that because you're right, but just not right now. Like, we don't want to talk about that right now. So like, when do we talk about it? Like, when do we have that conversation? Let people feel how they feel. If they were victimized by someone that died, and if they weren't, like, those people have to reckon with how that feels. It's the same thing about Michael Jackson. Like, people have to people are sorting that out, and it's okay to take time to sort it out. You don't have to put that on the internet for a hot take. You don't have to say what you feel or while you're still sorting things out. You don't have to let people know immediately. It's fine to be like, I need to figure this out, and that's okay. And I'm not going to judge you for that if someone was more familiar with that and they felt a certain way about him because you knew more about the person than I did. Like, there are people when I die aren't going to like me either. I mean, I didn't see any of that shit. Well, I mean, I did actually when I was younger. Like, I said things that were trash. So, like, there are people who don't like me either. So I get it. That's all.
And it's okay that he did a lot of great things. A lot of people do a lot of great things. Everyone's not one thing, and if other people have a different relationship to that person, it's why, for example, like I when that article came out about David Bowie, like in that 14-year-old girl, I was like, I'm not gonna hate on people for like mourning him because his music meant a lot to them and that he had an impact on them. That being said, we're not gonna shut down the people that are disgusted by him because of his actions in his life. It's just like everyone has to be a either or with everybody. Like, so like same with Michael Jackson. Like that. I think that nigga did it. Somebody tagged me in something like that. Like, I forgot. I didn't even read it. Somebody tagged me in something, but I was just like, it still like negated absolutely nothing that well, I didn't read it, so I don't know that it didn't negate anything that I said. But it was about no, because you know what it was? It was about the documentary, and a lot of the facts that I was talking about when we last recorded were about the cold hard facts outside of the documentary. So it didn't negate anything I said. Anyway, the point is that everyone has a feeling or a relationship to someone that may not be the same as yours, and that's okay. And as long as people are not I think it's I did think it was weird that people are like, oh, bitch, you can't fucking mourn him because blah, 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 blah. Like, no, if people want to mourn him, let them mourn him. But also at the same time, you can't be mad if people don't want to mourn him. I don't get celebrating his death, but that's not my, that's just not my ministry. That's not in my spirit right now. Do what you got to do, I guess. Yeah. So, Old Town Road, have y'all been listening to it?
I sure have.
Ride till I can't no more. I got them horses on the boy,
babe.
First of all, country trap is just it's the future. Needs to happen. It's the future. It needs to happen. I have been waiting. The Hee Haw Huntress has been waiting for this moment for a millennia. Like, bitch, I've been waiting for this moment. I didn't know I was waiting for this moment, but I've been waiting for this moment. So Lil Nas X, who is an Atlanta native and apparently a former TweetDecker, mixed the song at his father's house, as according to the New Yorker article on him. And he put it out, and then the song was on TikTok. A lot of people, TikTok is, I see TikTok videos on Twitter sometimes, but I'm still not entirely sure what it is. Do you know what TikTok is?
It's Kesha's first smash hit.
Okay. Yes. Beautiful gowns. So it was used on that a lot, and so then it gained traction from that, and then people started downloading it, and a lot of people weren't really sure. Is it parody? Is it a real song? Because I don't think any of us expected a trap country song, and so it's on the Billboard charts now. It's on the hip hop charts, and it was on the country charts before Billboard removed it because they said that it did not have the things that make a traditional country song, whatever that means. This article also points out that Taylor Swift had a song that was not country. What is that shit?
Most of them.
We Are Never Getting Back Together was on the country charts for 9 weeks, and that song is definitely not country.
I keep thinking you're saying crunchy.
Oh my god.
I keep saying it sounds like you're saying crunchy, like crunchy.
Oh, maybe am I speaking too fast? Sorry.
No, I like it.
Country. Yes. So that was on the the Billboard for the country music Billboard list for 9 weeks, and clearly we are never getting back together is not a country song. So homeboy got what's Kylie Cyrus? Lord Jesus, Kylie Cyrus. What's Miley Cyrus' daddy's name?
Billy Ray.
What's his name?
Billy Ray.
Billy Ray.
Cyrus.
There we go. Billy Ray Cyrus. So he got Billy Ray Cyrus on the thing, and now what's that? Oh, it's back on the country Billboard list.
Now it's gonna be number 1 on Billboard.
But the gag is here's the true and honest gag of it all. Is I feel like Billboard actually just made it more popular than it originally was going to be, because I don't feel like I heard people talking about it as much until it got removed from the country music charts.
Same.
Like I heard about it because I liked the song and I was listening to it, but like I didn't hear other people talking about it until this whole controversy happened.
I didn't even know about it until it happened, and I was like, let me just go listen. And I was like, oh, I hear something, and I think this slaps.
It hits a little bit, yeah, a little bit in the giddy up. But yeah, like, bitch, I wanted to hop on a horse real quick. Got that twang, bitch, that stance. Honestly, I'd be strutting down the street like a real life cowboy.
What does that look like? What does the cowboy walk like? Ooh, Chile.
It's like a little like bow leg a little bit, so you got a little twitch in your ass, Gotta twerk something a little bit.
Wait, what was that last part?
Twerk some?
The part before that.
Little twitch in your ass.
Okay, so what's that about?
It's the twitch. You
A
gotta
twitch.
twitch a little bit.
Like
Yeah.
a flex.
okay.
Like a.
Yeah, and you got like a wide leg walk. Sometimes I strut, like I give you a Naomi Campbell moment just because, but I like imagine it like with a cowboy hat, like Naomi Campbell with a cowboy hat. Like he mentions a Gucci cowboy hat, which I imagine Naomi Campbell has worn at least once in her life.
Or owns, I'm sure she like.
Or owns, yes, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to mention that because I'm really happy about this, like this Black Yeehaw moment that we're going through, and right now I currently am looking at a white cowboy hat that I want to purchase.
They're like kind of expensive though. I was like,
They
I
are,
was like, wait a minute.
because the one I got was in Texas, and that's why it was so cheap.
Oh, see, because there's some for like, I saw them for like $45 minimum, and I was like, oh, okay. Well,
No, I got mine for like $20, and it was like on a stand. They be selling them all over the place because when people go to Texas, they want to get a cowboy hat, so they be selling them for cheap. And it's not it's not as great as like the real cowboy hats, but it's also not as bad as like a lot of these cheap ones, because the cheap ones be like mad small, and I don't like that.
yeah, I need to get a better one. To be continued.
I like the bigger, like the one I wear. Like I like a bigger, more dramatic cowboy hat, because I feel like if they look small, it just looks like, it just makes me think of like a really tacky go-go boy. Like the ones that work at what's that country bar in WeHo?
Oh, Flaming Saddles.
Flaming Saddles, yes. It looks
They
like
have
work at
it.
Flaming Saddles.
They started it in New York, actually.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we have one more topic, and then we can dip out on this. Perez Hilton is still a piece of shit. Now, I know that's not news to anybody, but, there it is. So, if you're not familiar, the Sultan of Brunei.
Brunei, yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So he's enacted a new Islamic criminal law that says that if you are engaging in homosexual behavior, you will be stoned to death. Homosexual behavior or adultery. And Perez Hilton, who I guess allegedly knows the son, the crown prince, went on YouTube and said, "Y'all know I don't out people anymore," which it really should have stopped there. Then don't do it anymore.
He's like, but
But I used to do that back in the day. But he said I used to do that back in the day, but I'm making an exception here. I'm guessing the Sultan of Brunei doesn't know that his son, Prince Azim, is a big old homo. I would know because I have spent time with Prince Azim. It's so hypocritical this guy's son is a big flamer, and now he's enacted a law to stone to death gay men.
Is he stupid? Is that the name of the episode? Is he dumb? Is he like?
Are you alright?
That is the name of this episode. Are you dumb?
Are you dumb? Gotta be.
Are you dumb?
Gotta be.
This
Gotta be. And it's just like, it's just like, what are you doing? Like, I know he posted this video and was like, yes, gay rights. Like, I know he thought that he did some. I know he thought he threw the first stone. I know he felt like he just did this, like had a historical moment. He was doing something with this video. Bitch, don't you have a child?
Yes,
Go take care of your child.
Yeah.
Somebody gave you a baby. Go worry about that. I can't believe somebody gave him a baby.
I just don't. It makes me so mad that he's rich and this stupid. Like, it makes me so mad. Like, we're all smarter than this, and yet it's just, why?
And it's also just like, you don't think this, like, what are you accomplishing here, really, other than putting this other gay man's life in danger?
Wow, yeah, that's real.
Like, he's not responsible for what his dad did. Like, okay, maybe he's benefiting from shit, and we could talk about that. But, you know what I mean? Like, what was the purpose? What is the point? What is the reason, as Cardi B said? What is the reason?
Like, why? First, gay people that just out other gay people are trash. Like, period. Like, it's just, unless like someone's life is in danger or something like that, you should never be doing that. I got outed to my family, and I am pissed about it to this day. Like, it's wrong, and to do that in a place where he can literally be stoned, like, do you just think that? I actually don't have words. Like, what did you think? Brain error. Like, I just.
Yeah, like if
He's not. Sorry, I said the crown prince. He's not the crown prince. He is the fourth in line.
I mean, like if anything happens to him, that's kind of on Perez. Like, you just put a mark on him, and as like that is the opposite of what we're trying to do as a community. Like, we're supposed to be protecting each other and not putting each other in harm's way, and that is what you did. And
like, I could see if he was. Sorry, go ahead, John.
no, nothing. That's it. And he's trash. You're trash.
Like, I could just see if, like, the king or whatever, if the sultan was fucking gay. Like, fine. You know what I mean? Because this nigga's, like, killing people. But his son? Like, that doesn't, like, what, like, it just doesn't. I'm like, what is the reason? What is the motherfucking reason?
Clearly, the son
okay.
was desperate and confused and didn't know what he was doing because he spent time with Perez Hilton. So
The fact that anybody would willingly spend time with Perez Hilton still, like, is baffling to me.
maybe he was like, "This is the only gay person I could get." So maybe that's what happened.
I didn't think of it as they were, like, hooking up. I hope that he had better taste than that.
Then
Please, you're a prince. He's a prince. He has options.
But if that wasn't the case, then why is Perez even opening his mouth?
I'm assuming he just was at a party and met him or something. He knows that he's gay. I mean, it's not hard. Like, I'm going through the pictures, and there's pictures of him with, like, Gus Kenworthy and, like, Caitlyn Jenner, and, like, he's, like, wearing makeup, and, like, he's like he's clearly gay. Like, it's not a surprise. So I don't think it's like I don't think this is like a secret.
No, but
it definitely is. I don't imagine he's close to him anything. I just think he wants to feel important.
But that's what I'm saying. If he's not close to him, why did he feel the need to say anything at all? Like, I would never comment. Like, imagine meeting someone at a party once for like 5 to 20 minutes or something like that, and then feeling you have the license to say that.
I can't.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so we probably should have closed this out on, like, something joyful.
Oh, we can. I just want to say
what?
congratulations to Joy Behar for exercising
yes.
tremendous restraint and not snatching every follicle out of Mayonnaise McCain's head. I thought that I thought that the joy, no pun intended, and the patience that you practiced in that moment were admirable. I know you contemplated risking it all and losing it, but you know what? You did the right thing. And in this situation, I will actually say I would tip my Hee Haw hat off to Whoopi Goldberg for being a great moderator in that situation. Stop talking about race things because you really know what you're talking about. But other than that, great job. And to Meghan McCain, to Meghan, my father McCain, you're a loser, girl. And that's all I have to say. That's all.
And that's that on that. Yeah, we'll be back with the Dix Gas. We're just over here discoursing. And what are we discoursing about? We're discoursing about communication. So welcome back to the Dixcast.
That was good. I liked it.
Thank you. You know what I was thinking of that guy.
You took a risk and it paid off.
Yes, you know. What I wanted to do was necessarily what I did do. Yes, so we're talking about communication, and it's been a constant theme in my life this new year. Communication, like it's come up so many times, and I just realized how, like, you know, the year of realizing things, but you know when you realize something and you feel like you've like you know, as you get older and you learn like lessons or something, and you like look around at people making these mistakes, and you're like, you learn this lesson and you're like, everybody, like, get on what I'm on right now, like, you know what I mean? Have you guys ever had that?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so that's where I'm kind of on. That's what I'm on with communication right now. Like, I feel like I've learned, like, the hard way how important it is, and it's now like become so apparent to me how little, and I don't know if it's a generational thing or what, but like how much we don't talk about our needs, are when we're hurt by things, and then we kind of like assume things about each other, and then we let them balloon into something else. And we also create our own narratives around what the truth actually is, and we don't actually know the truth. We're just filling in the blanks where we don't know. And so it causes all these problems that could just be, I feel, that could just be solved if we just like talk to each other about it. And some people don't want to hear it, and it doesn't always work. But I think that it would go a long way towards like solving a lot of our issues. So the question, I guess, the specific question is, have you ever been in a situation, if you feel comfortable sharing, where you felt like communication would have solved the problem?
Who's first?
This is not John, apparently.
I'll go first, because I feel as if mine are not going to be as complicated. Okay, so I'll go first.
Okay.
Prefaces with saying I'm drunk. I was trying to hide that, but can't do that. But that's fine. We're celebrating being back. I just celebrated a birthday. I'm 27, and we're celebrating today. It's a celebratory episode. So, in terms of forgiveness and communication and things like that, or wait, not forgiveness, whoops.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
The resentment jumped out. So, yeah, I mean, I think there are a few situations that I've been in, and it probably am in, that communication would solve the issues. But the thing that I just found really interesting about them is that, like, or the way I wanted to tackle this was kind of coming from the angle of, like, I feel sometimes when we get in these situations, we feel like we're going to have to sit down and have those conversations and, you know, and be the mature person and have that. But, like, I also am at a point right now where, like, I don't want to. Like, I feel like that's probably not the best thing to say, or probably not the most mature or whatever, but that's just where I am. Like, a lot of times, like, I don't want to do that. Like, and I think that I wasn't going to go first either, because I feel like I'm the contrarian point, but I feel like sometimes it's okay to not communicate and just, or at least for me, like, I don't know. I feel like the communication comes in, like, communication is only important if you care about the relationship and care about,
oh, well, definitely, 100%.
And care about, like, saving it and care about all that. So I guess for me, like, I'm just at a point personally where there are situations like that where, like, I just don't, like, okay, because it's just, like, sometimes, like, you don't want to have to, like, not everything or friendship that I have should have to be, like, or a relationship or anything should have to be, like, a ton of effort all the time. Like, not every situation that I have needs salvaging. Like, there are people in my life that, like, I don't have those issues with. So I feel like when you do have those issues, like, if you don't want to deal with that, it's well within your right to kind of, like, not engage. At the same time, I think if you are trying to like, mend those situations, that, yeah, you do have to say what's important. And one thing that I would say that I've been learning in the last few months, like, in the relationship that I've been in is that like communication is like it's vital. Like one thing I'm terrified of is like saying the wrong thing to the wrong person, or like saying something that is going to make someone say like, oh, I'm gonna bounce or whatever. But it's like I would rather do that and have that person leave me, or I leave them, or we decide that we're not going to work, or whatever the relationship is, because we were being honest in our true selves, and like hiding something. Excuse me. Then like hiding something and then kind of it being fake. So I'm at a point now where like if you care about something, it's kind of like communication is kind of like a crucial thing. Like you can't not communicate and expect growth. Like it doesn't work like that. And so we either have to find ways and how that works for us personally to like kind of navigate those things or kind of work around it. But other than that, I just feel like if you don't care, like take that time to, or that sounds harsh. Not if you don't care, but like sometimes you don't have the energy, you don't have the time. Like, and if you're there, like that's valid too. Like it's like you're not always the bigger person or the better person by like the one trying to set the meet up and like fix all the things. Like sometimes you just can walk away, and like that's fine too. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I know that's like kind of depressing, but it's just, I don't know.
No, that's.
I will say that wait, so are you done?
Are you done? Yeah.
Are you done? Okay.
I'm done.
So I would say that I disagree on one point that you made, which is I feel like one thing we do too is that I feel like we use the term friend way too loosely. Like everybody's not your friend. Some people are just acquaintances. And but I do believe that if somebody is your friend, then I do feel that all relationships require some sort of effort and some sort of work, because there needs to be that. Like if you guys are interacting with each other, there has to be some give and some take in the relationship, regardless. That's if it's a friendship. If it's just an acquaintance, then that's not relevant at all.
Well, I don't think that that's necessarily true either, because I think that there are people that like I've never been in an argument with John, like ever. Like it, and like, you know, and it's just like there are some people where I just feel like there are times where you just like it doesn't require all of the. I'm not saying that you can't like talk and if you have a thing, but I just feel like sometimes there are people where it's just they're just like you're the whole like friendship or acquaintanceship is just like demanding. And it's just like you don't have to subject yourself. I got my whole point is just that like if something is not beneficial to you, it's okay to like walk away from that situation. Should you communicate? Absolutely, and say things like that. But sometimes like you just don't want to do that shit. And like I don't know, maybe that's just maybe that's not good, but that's just kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay. I mean clearly I disagree with that, but yeah. So one of the things that I've noticed is that, I mean, and this is sort of also, this actually is kind of in relation to what you were saying. One of the things that the situations I've been in recently is like, I have a coworker that is new to the job, and I had another coworker come up to me. This person started like maybe 2 weeks ago, and I had another coworker come up to me and say, "Hey, so homegirl said that." As asking like everyone what's wrong with you, why you don't like her. And I was just like, wait, what? Because this girl is like not even a blip on my radar. Like when I've spoken to her a few times. I'm just not super like overtly friendly with people that I don't know unless I'm drunk. And I'm obviously not that at work, so I'm like not like gonna be jumping all over someone that I just met. But it was crazy to me to find out that this person had decided that not only like had just decided that I didn't like them and had built this whole narrative around our this animosity. And now there is, because now I don't like her because she's been going around talking shit about me and also claiming that I dislike her to people and has never spoken to me about any of this. And so this was a specific situation I was thinking about, that where I was just like, has she just been like, hey, like, babes, like, you know, whatever, like, I like what's going on. Or she didn't have to do that at all. She could just do what she did. And now I'm like, and I'm totally fine with just not interacting with her because there's no investment there. I don't know her. And I didn't care about her before, and I still don't care about her. And so it's just easier for me to just be like, whatever. Like, I wanted to be the bigger person initially and be like, pull her to the side and be like, hey, so, but like, I'm like not going to take on other people's insecurities. If you feel like that, if you have an issue with something that I've done and you don't want to bring it to me, then I'm not going to do that. But then on the other end of that, I've also just been in situations where I've just been like, I've been in situations where I've agonized over conversations that I needed to have with people in my life that I cared about. And I was avoiding having those conversations because I was afraid of the awkwardness or how the person would react to it. Or, you know, if it would like mean the end of whatever relationship, because I felt like everything, like I'm a zero sum person. Like in my mind, like everything, like if this thing, one thing goes wrong, that's the end and that's it. And I found that recently, like I've been like in situations where like I've been feeling a way about things and I've been addressing them and I've been saying, hey, to the people that, you know, and if this is, and obviously it's only with people that I care about. And I'm like, hey, like, you know, I feel a way about this. How do you feel about it? You know, because instead of just, because the old me would have just been like, well, this bitch is not doing what I want them to do. So fuck them. And that's it. You know what I mean? And or I would just be like, well, this person, and I would just come up with they're doing this, and they just don't like this, and like, and I would have just built this whole idea of what this person was and what they wanted and what they were thinking, and I would have just been sitting there mad and resenting it. And instead, like, I chose to have these conversations, and in the end, they ended up being good and going great, all of them. Not that they always will. But all of the conversations that I've had, you know, all of the conversations that I've had about the issues that I've had recently have gone really well.
That's great.
And it's just crazy to me because it's like me realizing that had I not learned that lesson, I would still just be sitting here like being pressed about stuff that could just be easily solved by a conversation. And I think the thing that I've noticed in like a continuing theme is that amongst talking to like friends and acquaintances and whatnot, is that like that just seems to be like an issue. And I don't know if it's our generation or what, but like it just seems like an issue where people like don't want to just say what they feel. And it goes beyond just like having to do, like, I know you referenced like having to do all this hard work, but like in terms of like just even like being able to be at peace with the people that you have to be around. You know what I mean? Like at work, like I said, if I have an issue, I had a coworker who was like not pulling her weight, and I was like, sis, what you doing? Because I'm not going to be doing it by myself.
Yeah, but that's kind of the point too, though, is that like some of these people you don't have to be around. Like it's just like when you're tired, you don't have any money, you're fucking exhausted, you coming home tired all the time, like you don't have shit to do. Like sometimes that conversation is emotional labor that you just don't have the energy for, and like.
But then that's when you have to decide if that relationship is worth having that conversation. And
that's my point. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's my point. I'm just at the point where I'm just like, fuck it. Like I think what you're saying is great too. Like, and I think what you're saying is things that you should do. Like I'm thinking about like, yes, if this was one of you guys, I would absolutely do that. But maybe it's just the realization that like the circle is smaller than what I thought.
Definitely.
And that's like what it is. But
that's
like.
real.
But but it's just like at the end of the day, like if it were one of y'all, like that's absolutely something that like, I think I would do. But just in terms of like, in general, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes like what you were saying before, like how your coworker, like I'd be upset because I didn't ask for all that shit. Now I got to sit here and have a conversation with you about why you don't like me and why you're saying all this stuff. I'm trying to work. I don't got time for this. Now I have to listen to like what you're saying. Like at work when people call me and they're like, "Oh, I don't like this person," blah blah blah. I'm like, "Well, you talk to them." Like I don't have the emotional energy, or if you don't have the emotional energy like to talk to them, then just let it go. Like people don't have time for all this other extra stuff that people be doing sometimes, and it's just exhausting. That's all I mean.
No, yeah, and I can agree with that. That's why in one situation where one person not pulling their weight was impeding my work, I was having that conversation. Whereas in this other situation, as long as as long as we don't have any other problems with work-wise, I don't have to talk to you, and I don't give a fuck about whether you like me or not. And so I'm comfortable with just letting that be what it is. We don't have to speak, and that's okay. As long as when it comes down to it, we can do our job. That's all I care about. And so like that's where I'm at, like in terms of like deciding when I agree with that. Deciding when I care enough about someone to have that conversation with them. If I don't feel like you're worth having that conversation, I'm not going to have a conversation about my issues with you. I'm just going to leave. But I think that it's worth it to have those conversations if you care about people, because in the end, what ends up happening, I feel like, is that it always comes out. especially if it's somebody that you have to see regularly. And you keep these secrets, and you keep how you feel inside, and you keep it to yourself. And then eventually and maybe you're keeping it because you don't want to deal with the awkward situation. Maybe you're keeping it because you don't want to hurt their feelings. But in the end, it always blows up. In the end, it always blows up because people can't keep shit to themselves. And it may not come out in you saying it specifically to them. It comes out in little ways. It comes out in the ways that you treat people because you resent them and you don't even realize that you're doing it. And so that's what I'm talking about. Like, I just think that, like, I don't want to say you have to have this conversation. You have to sit down with every single person that you have any type of issue with. But if it's somebody that either A, you care about, or B, or somebody you have to be around a lot, I think that it's worth it to get past that momentary awkwardness, right? So that you don't have to deal with the colossal situation that is going to come at some point regardless.
Right. Because it could build up and blow up, and it could have just all been solved if you talked about it.
Exactly. I don't know how many friends that I've had where they, like, beefed with each other. And I had to hear about it from both sides. And I'm like, you niggas are, like, in partial agreement with each other. And if you motherfuckers would just talk to each other, this shit would be done. But instead, I'm just like, oh, well, I feel like she thinks this. And, well, I feel like she thinks that. That's, oh, my God. Like, now I'm thinking about high school shit, too. Because, oh, my God. Okay, sorry. I'm going back. But the point remains that a lot of people are just going back and forth with this shit, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, just have a conversation. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's awkward. Yeah, sometimes it's uncomfortable. Yeah, sometimes feelings are going to be hurt because people don't like to hurt each other, and people don't like to know that they've hurt people. Nobody wants to be wrong. But at the end of the day, like, you know, would you rather not have this shit squashed now than to have it just blow up in your face later? I don't know. Sorry, go ahead, John.
No, don't be sorry. You're spilling a lot of good tea right now. Like, that, it is hard. Okay, so that's what I want to start off with is communication. To be a really good communicator is you have to have communication skills require a lot of things. Like, first of all, aside from communicating, you have to start off with being a good listener. Like, I can't communicate with you if you're not going to listen to me. Yeah. Second, you have to be confident of what we're talking about. You have to be open-minded. You have to keep your cool. Like, and we have to give good feedback. So when Baze brought up this whole topic of communication, I immediately thought about work for some reason, because I thought this was a work-related question. But it happens with relationships, interpersonal relationships, etc. Like, communication is just generally important. And the reason why I thought about work is because I'm a registered nurse, and communication, as far as like when it comes to our documentation, you have to be on it. Like, you, every time you touch, and this is like, I know that I have we have some listeners who have told me that they're trying to be nurses too. So here's some advice. Like, you can't write anything subjective. You can't write anything that's not going to hold up in court. And if it's subjective, you can't prove it. For example, if you write patient was angry, patient was upset, blah, 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 you can't write that because you don't know how someone else is feeling. You have to put patient stated this, or patient was angry, or not angry, raised their voice. All you can do is write facts because anything else can be misinterpreted, you know? And so I sort of like carry that on when I'm talking to, I mean, I should just take my own advice sometimes too, because sometimes I make up stories in my head as well. Like, if we aren't verbalizing what we want or what we need, we're never really going to know. And so when it comes to work, you just have to be factual. And then when it comes to interpersonal relationships, it's sort of in the same realm. Like, if you're not talking to someone and you're making up these stories in your head, it could be something completely different. Like, when I talk about personal relationships, sometimes I don't communicate with something or someone because I'm afraid they're going to be mad at me, or I'm afraid that it's going to be something that's going to blow up in my face. And sometimes if I muster up the courage and I just, hey, like, it really bothers me when this happens. And so I would have a good reaction sometimes, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that bothered you. And it's like this whole stress and all this weight I was carrying for no reason, you know? I wish sometimes I would have spoken up for myself sooner. And so I think that's what's key in communication with in all realms, is that like, and like you were saying, Baze, it's just that if you're not communicating your wants or your needs, then nothing is going to change, and you're going to carry this weight, and it's not going to end up well. What else was I? I don't know. I think sorry.
I was gonna also point out really quickly, like I remember one time when I had to have a conversation with you about something that hurt me, and like you were just like so like open and were like not even like you like didn't even hesitate. You were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Like, and I was like I was so anxious over having that conversation with you because we had never had like a situation where I felt like we needed to have any of those conversations before. Mm-hmm. And I had it, and I immediately said it to you, and you're just like, "Oh yeah, like yeah, that's fine."
And look at us now. Yeah.
So I feel like I feel like both of you guys are very open to like hearing once the conversation has been initiated.
Yeah,
and sometimes it does.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, it's if it's a conversation worth having, like, like
yeah.
For me, I don't know. I'm just at a very weird place. I'm sorry to be like the depressing, negative person, but like, I don't know. It's just sometimes you are just so tired and so exhausted, and just okay. I'll take for myself. I'm so tired and so exhausted, and like there's so much going on that like the fact that like even some of those those conversations are just so much. And sometimes they're draining, and it's like I just don't have it right now. And like for me, I'm admitting that's a flaw of mine. Like I don't have the like. If someone came up to me right now and was like, "I want to have this talk with you," I'd be like, "I can't do it right now."
Yeah,
because it's just like. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's also like, but so that's also a thing. Like I've been going through it a lot, and I've been like, for the most part, I've been not as doing it as much with you guys, but I've like been like I've been trying to check in and be like, hey, like how are you guys? Also, hey, I'm about to vent. Is that okay? Like, can I just like go off for a little bit and like check in? Because obviously, like we all have like a battery, and we only have a finite amount of like energy that we can devote to anything. And so we may not be in a space at that point in time to like receive those conversations, and that's fair too. That's okay. We don't always have to be in that space.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because it's just sometimes like, we have moments where we're going through it, and that's part. We took a 2-week break because we're going through it. Like, yeah, and it's hard. In those 2 weeks, I didn't have any of those conversations because it's just like. It's too much sometimes, and so and maybe all that means is we just have to communicate. Look, I would love to have this conversation with you later. Just right now, I'm going through it and I can't. And maybe that's all it is.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's real okay. Yeah, I was gonna. It kind of reminds me of when I forgot who was interviewing her, but when Uma Thurman was asked about, I think it was Harvey Weinstein, or I forgot which male she was talking about, but she was like really angry, and she was like, I'm not going to speak on this right now, just I'll speak on it when I'm ready. And that's really real, because if you decide to communicate when you're not emotionally ready, you're going to say some things that you probably wouldn't have said if you had waited, I don't know, maybe a day or two, got some sleep, got some rest, and said something later. Because if you're going to regret it, and it's probably not going to be the most effective way to communicate is when you're really emotional. I know that's really hard to do, especially when it's happening in the moment. Like, not all of us get the privilege to like postpone a conversation or postpone a situation, and we're sort of like forced to speak on something in the moment. But I think what's really what I try to do, especially in like, I don't know, in the moment situations, is not to escalate things any further. I try to keep. I'm emphasizing on try, but I try to remain calm and try to keep my voice at a lower tone, because the more you raise your voice, it's just gonna aggravate the other person. And so I know a way to de-escalate or keep things from escalating is just to try to keep your cool most of the time, and also make sure that the other person is understanding you, because you could try to communicate to them. I had conversations with a friend, and this friend was like, I don't want to fight with you anymore. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think we were fighting. I think we were just having a conversation. Is there something that made you feel like we were fighting? And like, and I don't know. I think that's part of it too, is that when you're communicating, it's good to take some moments and clarify that if you're being understood, which goes back to the listening portion. Like, is this person actually listening to me, or are they afraid that I am like scolding them?
And that's also another important thing to remember too, is like friendships, relationships, random ass interactions with people, is that two people can have the same exact interaction and come out with two completely different ideas of what that interaction looked like, what that was and looked like.
Right.
Like we all, like nobody, that's the thing, is like nobody knows what you think or what you want or what you deserve, what you feel like you deserve, or what's like your normal. For example, I personally, and maybe this is just because I'm a rude ass bitch, I never knew that it was rude to eat before everyone got their food at the table. I'm hungry, bitch. If my food comes first, I'm starting to eat. Now, a lot of people think that's very rude. That is, a lot of people think that's very rude. I never even considered that was a rude thing. Now, if I come to dinner with you and I start eating, you know what I mean? And I start eating, me and you have dinner, it's just me and you, me and one other person, and I start eating my food. I walk out of that situation like, fine, not thinking twice about anything. But you walk out of that situation like, that bitch started eating his food before I did. You know what I mean? You both walk out of the situation, and now you feel a way, and I don't feel any kind of way because I didn't know that this was a problem.
Right. And it wasn't communicated, so you had no idea.
Exactly. Also, another great example. We talked about like communication and relationships and like cheating and stuff. Somebody might think grabbing somebody's butt is cheating. Somebody might think that's just flirting. Those two people in one relationship, guess what? Somebody gonna be mad because somebody gonna grab somebody's ass and then in front of them, and they gonna have a problem with it. But that person that grabbed the ass is not gonna think anything of it because to them that's not cheating.
Or if you're like dating someone and you find out they're hooking up with someone else, and like, well, I didn't know this was exclusive. Well, and to be fair, like, yeah, you should communicate that, but
I mean, you kind of have to though, because that's the thing, is until you guys say y'all are exclusive, y'all are not exclusive. It doesn't matter what you think it is. It doesn't matter what you think or feel it is until it's said it is not. That's the thing, is like nobody knows what's in your head. Nobody knows how you feel. Nobody knows what you think things should be like.
And vice versa.
What do you mean?
Sorry. Like if someone says we should just keep it as friends, and then like y'all keep messing around, hooking up or whatever. If you're not this person's boyfriend or girlfriend or partner or whatever, but it feels like it is because you're doing those acts, like no, they still communicated to you that they don't want to be your partner. So maybe physically it might communicate, like the nonverbal communication may have led you to believe otherwise, but they're literally telling you, I want to be single. I don't know, like communication is key. Like clarify.
It just is, like, you just like that, and that's like I said, that's the thing that I realized is like I'm trying to like get out of my head more, because I'm like walking around and I'll feel a way about something. Like I'll be feeling a way about something, and then but this person that I feel a way about doesn't have any clue that I feel this way, because they are not a mind reader and they don't know that what they did affected me negatively. And so I've had to like get out of my head more, because when I'm having these conversations, when I had that conversation with you, John, when we had our conversation, Rakeem, when I've had conversations with my other friends about like things like, oh, am I doing something to you, or do you feel like I feel like maybe there's something here that like I need from you. Like when I'm having these conversations, I'm finding 90% of the time either the person was like, I wanted to have this conversation already, or the person was like, I had no idea.
Right.
Because I had a friend who, you know, when I was going through this rough patch, this breakup, whatever, and they were not reaching out to me. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck is going on? Like, you're not here for me. And I was initially going to be like, fuck you. Like, fuck you. We're not friends. You're not really my friend. And then I was like, you know what, bitch? Why are you being dumb? Just ask them. Just talk to them. Find out. You know what I mean? You care about them. Find out. I hit them up and they were like, oh, I really was trying to give you your space because I thought that was what you needed, because that's kind of what I need when I'm in vulnerable situations. I like my space. You know what I mean? Like, and here I would have been, fuck this bitch. But this bitch was giving me what they thought I needed.
Right.
Granted, they could have communicated what they thought I needed to me, but it's fine. I communicated my needs to them, and we squashed it, and it was over. So it's just like, we got to get out of our heads, because as much as we are thinking about ourselves, everyone else is thinking about themselves the same exact way. Nobody is thinking about you the way that you were thinking about you. So, sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
do we have any last thoughts? Oh, unless anyone else had more to go.
No,
on
I'm
communication. Any last tips, advice?
I have a lot to think about. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I thought about this. I've been thinking about this. Listen to y'all talk, and like, I don't know. I have things to think about, because
that's okay.
Especially what you said, like, made me kind of think of things in a different way, and like, yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it. I don't really have an answer right now, but it was a good talk. So I'm like, the wheels are churning.
No, that's okay. You need time to process things.
Let me tell you, this time last year, I was 100% the bitch I'm complaining about right now. Like, I mean, hell, this, like, a few months ago, I was the bitch I'm complaining about right now. It literally took me going through some shit to be like, fuck, like, if we just talk about stuff, what if we just all talked about things? What if we all just, like, had conversations with each other about, like, the things that we needed and wanted from each other?
Ooh.
Could you imagine what a world that would be? Like, would there be wars if we just all, like, talked to each other and, like, found out where everybody was at? You never know. You really never know, because I have, like, it makes me think about, like, friendships that, like, I let fall by the wayside because of how I was feeling and wasn't communicating. There are friendships that I, like, dipped on because I was just like, well, they're not doing this thing that I need them to do, and I didn't talk to them about it. And it, like, what could that relationship have looked like now?
Right.
You know? So I don't know. I just been thinking about it. But anyway, let's see what let me see. Let me read an email real quick. Okay, so I don't want to say their name because they didn't say that I could say their name. But they said, hello, you beautiful people. Thank you all for providing joy to our community every week. Thank you. Thank you for supporting us.
Thank you. After the hiatus.
The hiatus. My name is, Taylor, and I know you all are not mental health doctors. Excuse me, I am. But I wanted to talk about a pretty heavy subject of question. Many of us, especially in the queer and/or Black community, have suffered some form of abuse from our loved ones. Many of us are still require assistance from those loved ones, so I understand how many of us cannot just cancel them outright. But I do want to discuss these questions. One, is cancel culture different for you when dealing with family? Yes, 100% for me.
No.
Anyway.
Sorry. Quick answer, no.
No, that's real. That's real. John?
Yes, different.
Yeah, 100%. I like, and that's why I get when white people are like, oh yeah, my family's pretty racist, and like they still love their family. Like, I get it. Like, my family, like, actually my family's not that bad. Like, on the grand scheme of things, like, my family's actually pretty supportive. But growing up, I didn't feel like they were, and I'll never get that time back, and I still have like issues about that. But like, at the end of the day, like, that is my family, and I know that they love me. Of course, that's different from abuse. I wasn't abused, so maybe I should just exclude myself. Maybe I should stop talking. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next one. Y'all talking about abuse. I just realized, I was like, wait a minute, I don't have the range. Do you think we cancel mental and physical abusers to the same extent as we do the sexual abusers in our family? Yes or no, and why? We definitely don't. I feel like mental and sexual abuse are not on the same level. Are not as dragged as much as physical abuse.
No, I actually feel mental abuse is sometimes encouraged and not even
exactly.
realize that it's mental abuse. Yeah,
exactly. And sexual abuse is just kind of swept under the rug, I think, more so than physical abuse, because I feel like nobody really wants to. I feel like if somebody's hitting somebody, family feels like they can like address it a little bit, but when somebody's like sexually abusing somebody, like nobody wants to talk about that in the family. My opinion,
Yeah.
John.
No, and also with physical, I mean, there's a difference with physical abuse. There's like sometimes, or a lot of the times, it's really evident. Like you can see it. With mental and emotional abuse, sometimes you don't get to see the result of that right away, and so there's less of an urgency, less of a people want to do things right away because I don't know. To them, they don't see a lot of harm. Right? There's not a lot of visible urgency going on, but and I think that's why it's treated differently, because when you look at something, you're like, oh well, this person's doing fine. Well, you don't know that because, again, back to our topic, are you communicating with them? Like, what are they letting us know, and are you asking them how they're doing? But with someone, the victim of someone who's going through physical assault, is that you can literally see what the symptoms are. You can feel, and people are feeling the pain more instant. So maybe that's why I think they're treated in different levels. I wouldn't. Well, what's the question? Are we canceling this person?
Do you? Well, that was the first. No. Well, the second question is: do you feel like physical abusers and mental abusers are punished on the same extent as sexual abusers?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. Okay. 3. When it comes to our parents or guardians and we no longer need their security net, why don't we cancel them for the physical and mental abuse to the same extent as we do other people? I think it just. I mean, I think that's really subjective.
Yeah, I was going
do.
to say that's a case-by-case basis. Like, it depends how important family is to you. If this person is being a constant source of toxicity in your life, then yeah, cut them out like you would anyone else. But, we all have different relationships with our families, and different cultures treat their families differently. Like, a lot of us were raised to, like, take care of if your elders are taking care of you. Once you get older, you start respecting your elders a little more. But that's not always the case. If this elder or whatever, this person in your life, again, is causing you some pain, then take some time away, and not necessarily cut them off, but or maybe communicate with them and let them know that they're hurting you. Maybe they don't know that. And if they are, then yeah, reevaluate if you need them in your life still.
Agreed. I fully agree.
Yeah,
I'm actually even more strict on people that I know, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What do you think is forgivable and not forgivable, and why?
In terms of what?
I think that's like a follow up to the question 3.
To family?
Yeah, I think it's honestly a case by case. I mean, sexual abuse is obviously like I do not fuck with you. Period. Mental and physical abuse, I think that can sometimes get a little complicated, because I think especially in Black families, I think that what's considered discipline is also conflated with mental and physical abuse. And so I know that I personally feel like whooping your child is abusive, is physically abusive. My mom has also done that to me, but I also love my mom, and I also know that was what she was taught, and I don't think she knew any better to do anything else. Was it abusive? Yes. Am I angry with her about that still? No, and I'm not going to cancel her for it either. Now, somebody else in a different situation might, and that's a prerogative, but I personally will not be doing so.
Yeah, I honestly, I can't answer that because it's a discourse. I can't answer that in 30 seconds. It's a longer question for me, and I'd rather not right now.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Taylor, for your questions. We are running short on time, so we will. Y'all filled up the inbox a little bit, so thank you. We will get to these next questions next week. Oh wait. Okay, no, never mind. I was gonna try to read this honey roast real quick, but it's very long, so I'll read it next week. Yeah. So, Rakem, do you have any announcements?
No, actually. No, I don't actually. Nope. Just don't give up, and I know stuff is hard for people, and today has been this has been a really odd weekend. So for those people going through it, just know that you're not going through it alone. That is all.
Yeah, and communicate. You not communicating ass bitches.
Drag me. Yeah, but so with that, I guess we'll wrap up this episode of Podcast of Color, and thank you all for being patient with us over the last 2 weeks and letting us rest up a little bit. And you can find us everywhere at Podcast of Color, and on Twitter at Trash of Color. Send your honey roast and emails to podcastofcolor@gmail.com. We're approaching our 100th episode really soon, which is like really exciting. Yeah, do y'all have any announcements before we head out, or?
I'm still job hunting, bitches. So if you motherfuckers know of any jobs in New York City that are full time with benefits, bitch, and preferably entry level, but depending on the job, maybe a little bit further. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm a multifaceted ass bitch. Let me know about that.
Honestly, same. I'm still looking for jobs as well. So, yep.
I would like to give a shout out to another podcast that just started.
Oh, what? How? Yes.
Topics Include. It is a podcast that seeks to create a space for trans people to gather through conversations that are educational by accident and liberational by choice. And so I think they're on their 3rd episode. You guys can look them up at Topics Include Pod, or Topics Include, right? Topics Include.
Yeah. Topics
And
include.
so,
Did you listen? You listened to the first episode.
yeah, I listened to the first and second. I'm working on the 3rd.
First that topic that they read was hilarious. Sorry, I just want to say.
Yeah. So for our listeners who maybe were interested in another podcast, check them out. It's really great. And wow, you guys, and let me, not guys, sorry. Let me take that back. Shout out to them because, I mean, for just releasing their, first or 2, it's like really sleek, you know? Or at least that's what I felt. Like, it doesn't sound like some other podcast's first episodes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, wow, great. Great job,
I
y'all.
was like, wow, man, y'all really made us look bad.
Woo. Anyway.
Well, they in a professional studio too.
We remember what that was like?
Oh, that was so nice, wasn't it?
Oh, wow. Wait, so I literally just dissociated for the last 2 minutes. What are we?
No, it's okay. It's all right.
It's
We're
all
just
right.
reminiscing of what it was like to be in a studio, but
Oh, do we have to?
no. We don't have to revisit those past.
The trauma. Okay.
Delay. Anyway, so
Anyway.
with that, thank y'all for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Renee Bays,
Rakim, John.
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 Renee Bays.